I'm so excited. In this episode, we are joined by Dawn Foster. She is a marketing strategist, brand guru, and owner of D Foster Marketing, a consulting firm that also functions as a full service agency for solopreneurs and small business owners. Dawn has worked with budgets that range from non existent to multi million dollars and anywhere in between. Her experience, creativity, and analytical skills are helping solopreneurs, C suite operations, e commerce, and online retailers create original branding and marketing strategies that are exceeding revenue goals and standing out from their competitors. In this conversation, we're going to simplify what branding and marketing is. She's going to outline exactly what you need to know starting a business to make it simple and easy to follow. So excited about this conversation, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Hello, and welcome to Starting a Business Simplified, Navigating the Shift, a podcast for those of you looking to transition from a medical career to starting an online business. I will be sharing how to get started, success stories, and more. If you are looking to make the move from medicine to online, but don't know where to start, or have a business, but are looking for business tips and encouragement on your journey, this is the podcast for you. I'm Susie Rains, your host, and I look forward to helping you simplify starting a business. Hi, Dawn. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have you here today. We talked before we started recording, and there's a lot of things here that I think are going to benefit the audience with starting a business around branding, because I think that's a really big question mark when people start out. Before we dive into our topics, though, I would love if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about you and how you got started in your business.
Sure. So I'm Dawn. I'm the owner of D Foster Marketing Consulting. We are a consulting agency that also functions as a full service firm. So what that basically means is on the front end, we outline your strategy, telling you who, what, when, where, why, and how. We talk our clients through it. If they're overwhelmed and have no clue of how to execute it, we can get those things done as well. We've got creatives, strategists, copywriters, designers, developers on our team. And then on the back end, we're data nerds. So we're also measuring and monitoring to make sure that everything is working as best as it can. We're always asking ourselves a little too much. I'm realizing now in my life that I ask myself this in real life, how can this be better? So in real life, I need to relax on that. So I started my business, honestly, I don't want to say by accident. The stars aligned, I will say. I went through a year of really just trying to figure out what my purpose was, what my gift is that comes naturally, that I can pour back into the world. And then another year of discomfort in the corporate space where I was ready to do something different. And when the opportunity presented itself, I had someone come to me that said, "Hey, we want to hire you, but we want to be your priority." I took the opportunity and here I am today.
I absolutely love that you said that you were finding what it is that you could give back, what it is that is natural to you. I think that's the hardest place to be. I went through that same struggle and I tried different things until I actually found, oh my goodness, I love doing this one thing. I can
Mhm.
talk about it all day long. I can help people and it just lights you up. And then it makes those down times not so bad because we all have them.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, but if you love what you do and you love how you're doing it, the difficult stuff is not that difficult. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. And I know that listeners out there are thinking, hey, I can do this. And that's the beautiful thing about sharing our stories. So I really appreciate that. So we're going to transition a little bit. Let's talk about what it is that you're really good at, which is branding. And one thing that we were speaking about before that I would love for you to talk more around is what exactly is branding? When people say, oh, I need branding, what does that mean?
So thank you for asking. So I always talk about branding and marketing as a pair. And I guess I talk about it as a pair because it always gives, I feel as though for people who aren't in the space, it can be confusing based on all the messages that you're inundated with in terms of marketing and branding as a whole. So, branding, I personally describe as the personality of your business. It's what it looks like, what it sounds like, how it shows up, what people can expect from it. And then marketing is the networking of your business. Now let's go out, let's socialize, let's find friends, let's find people that you can connect with, attach to, people that you can help. And help is the big part here. It's because you want to be able to sell what it is your product or service is. So the marketing aspect is going out and then finding people who you can.
Perfectly simplified. I totally get that now. And talking to you clarified that for me as well because people lump them together and it's like
Yes.
branding and marketing are all one big thing and you do it all together. And it's clear to me now, crystal clear. I love that you describe branding as a personality because that's what it feels like. Um, and marketing is networking, which that totally makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. The personality aspect is a big deal because it's more than just a logo. It's so many other things that come together to form the personality of your business. And I find that analogy of it allows business owners to have an aha moment to understand what they're doing, why they are doing it when they are branding and marketing their business.
So, would you mind expanding a little bit more if I, as a starting out person, starting a business, not sure what I'm doing, what exactly would you say branding is as far as the components?
So the best place to start, and here's where I usually start, is when you see a brand guideline. Brand guideline is going to include colors. Actually, let me back it up. Let me back all the way up. Usually, if you open a brand guideline, that first page is going to tell you about the company, what its mission is, what its vision is, the purpose of it. And then from there, you typically see the brand colors or the brand logo. It's going to tell you how to use the colors, which, if there are three, how they live together. If there's a logo, the do's and don'ts of it, what it looks like in full color, black and white, grayscale. In addition to your brand colors, your logo, you're also going to have its tone of voice. It's going to your a brand guideline is going to give you some type of overview as to what the brand should sound like in written form or video form. Is your brand snarky? Is it serious? Is it educational? Is it helpful? Is it friendly? That's the tone aspect of a brand. And then there's the photography or visual aspect, how the different things that make up the visual cues of that brand. If you think about it, a great example of building out a full brand is when you see a commercial. Sometimes I feel so old when I talk about commercials.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. I know commercials. Like, commercials?
Yeah. When you see a commercial like a Target or a Nike or a Under Armour, you know whose commercial it is before you even see the logo. That is a company that has those are companies that have fully built out their brand, where you know what to expect before they actually say who they are.
Yeah, and a lot of times that comes with you're absolutely right. The music that maybe comes on or
Yes.
the look and feel of whatever images they're putting on the
Yes.
screen. Like, as soon as it starts, you're like, "Oh, that's Target."
Yeah.
You just know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How they treat their visuals, like, I think Under Armour, sometimes it's darker, kind of like this softer lens over it where it feels a little bit not smoky, but a little bit mysterious or not grungy, but it's got that feel to it, and you typically know who it is because of that feel. That's how they're treating their visuals, their photography, videography, so that it aligns with the brand.
That's awesome. So, That's a lot of information. And I know for a lot of people, they're thinking, oh my goodness. I like the beginning part when you backed up and you said that you have to know what your mission, your vision, and what is it that your business is. Like it's a living, breathing thing. The more I am talking to you, I'm thinking it really is. It has a personality, it has a tone, it's, I'm actually visualizing a person now for my business. I'm creating that in my head. That's so incredible. Um, so what are some of the first steps? So if I just have a blank slate, what would you recommend?
So typically, our starting point, and we have this outlined in what we call our foundation series for people who need help getting up and running with their brand. Typically, we start with the question, why do you do what you do? And we have our clients think about that. And with that answer, they're telling us if they're passionate about it, the problem that they're solving for people. Then we transition into like, what is your mission? What is your vision? How do you see all of that come together? And then once we've outlined really the foundation of things that we can always go back to as kind of our North Star, we get into some fun things of asking fun questions about how they envision their brand. Because I'm a creative. Typically, people have an idea in their head of what their brand looks like. So then we ask questions to help shape that personality. One of the questions is, where does your brand hang out? And it's, is your brand volunteering? Is your brand hiking? Is your brand at church? Is your brand at happy hour? It's going to help shape that personality. And then we have a full lineup of questions that we ask like that to really help shaping and forming the DNA of what that brand looks like before the visuals actually come into play.
If you are ready to get going in your business but don't know where to start, download Starting a Business Simplified Guide. This step by step guide will create a business plan you can follow and know all you need to know to start your business. Click on the link in the show notes to get a copy today. I love that process. I know for me, when I started, I didn't have the right examples. So you giving examples and talking about where does your brand hang out, that is such a great question. And giving examples makes it so much easier to follow. I think that's where we get tripped up when we're new business owners because there's so many things out there and so much to choose
Yes.
from. And people are telling us, okay, you need to know who your target is, who's your avatar, what are they doing, and you get almost numb. I mean, it's kind of like glazed over. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to answer all that. Like, what? I don't know. Yeah, and it's like paralysis. It's like you freeze because there's too much. So
Yeah.
I love that you have the foundation series that is specific to, hey, we're starting at square one. Let's ask all these questions and get through all of that. And that's what I do with my clients as well, is really coming up with those foundational questions being answered,
Yeah.
knowing what it is that you do, who you do it for, and how you do it. And that makes it easier to move forward. So I love that. How can people reach out if they were interested in working with you with your business or also the foundation series?
So I'm online, my website, dfostermarketing.com. In the navigation menu, you can choose to go to the foundation series where you can read through everything that it offers. It's 9 videos. We've got worksheets, assessments. We teach you how to act and engage with a graphic designer, the things that you should ask them. Make sure you're requesting specific things. We take you from where I said we start with just the questions all the way through until outlining how to build a marketing budget. So that's my website. You can also contact me there. I have discovery calls if people just need to be pointed in the right direction. We do that as well. We really want to help people, whether our business is serving you or not. And then I'm on social, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook as D Foster Marketing. My social channel of choice is LinkedIn. More chatty over there than anywhere else.
Thank you so much for that. I am so excited that you were here today. I'm so happy that you were able to share what you have to offer is so incredibly valuable. And I just want to encourage my listeners, take Dawn up on what she's doing because I've talked to so many marketing people and there's so much messaging out there that's confusing. And I can honestly say, talking to you, Dawn, and what I've known about you and this conversation, I'm way clearer and I've had so many conversations. And that's the beautiful thing is that you just ask questions, you get curious, and eventually you get there. And um, so I'm recommending that you reach out to Dawn, at least check out the foundation series for those of you listening, because from all the research that I've been doing, it's really hard to find that specific here, let me help you from the very beginning. A lot of
Yes.
stuff is piecemealed, and I feel like what you guys have done has you've created something that is step by step.
Yeah, that's exactly what we set out to do when we created it. We knew that when you're going at it, there's so many YouTube videos, there's so many blogs, there's so much chatter about what to do and where to go. We wanted to create something that outline honestly, it's typically what we use when we are standing a brand up and marketing them that takes you from the beginning to the end. We outline it, make it super clear. Our goal is to educate so that you know exactly what to do and why to do it.
Love that. That speaks my language so much because I'm the business plan lady. So for those of you listening, and that's what it is, just let's get it down on paper and let's start from the beginning and we're going to do step by step and get you to that complete foundation you need. And I feel so confident now sending my clients to you, Don, and saying, you need a marketing strat. Here you go. Now go do your marketing strat.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time today to be on. And is there one tip that you would love to give our listeners about anything that would be
Yes.
helpful for them?
Yes. I'm on the edge of my seat with all your questions. Again, my favorite topic. Don't rush the process. And that's typically where we see people go wrong. They rush through and then they want to present themselves and their business. And it's like, wait, like you missed all of these steps. You have some gaps. There are things that are missing when people are now looking for answers to the questions they may have when they want to be a client or customer of yours. So don't rush the process. Take it slow. We get that you're excited, but you get so much further faster when you slow down.
Love that. Yes. And thank you so much for being here today and being on the podcast. I'm excited. I'm actually going to be going out and checking out your stuff too.
Well, come on through.
Great. And as always, for my listeners out there, I know Don agrees with this. Keep it simple. Thanks for listening to this episode of Starting a Business Simplified, Navigating the Shift. If you enjoyed this episode, then hit the subscribe or follow button on your favorite podcasting platform so you'll never miss an episode. This podcast is for you, so be sure to reach out and let me know what you thought about this episode. You can join our Facebook community, Women Medical Professionals Starting an Online Business, where we share resources and information as a community. Click on the link in the show notes to join.